Here we are back in the off season for another interview, our first interview in about 5 months now. Mickey, I'll let you introduce yourself.
My name is Mickey Williams. I go to Sacred Heart Cathedral Preparatory, class of 26, EDGE.
And then one thing you left out right there is your Arizona State commit. Can you tell us a little bit about your recent commitment to the Sun Devils?
I committed to Arizona State because I feel like it was more so like a home, and it was just great being down there, meeting all the coaches and everything. And I feel like I just have a great opportunity to be a Sun Devil in the upcoming season.
And then is there anything specific about the coaching staff or the fact that they made the college football playoff this last year, Kenny Dillingham, any of that really is drawing ASU towards you?
That was one of the reasons why I went, because some people just thought ASU was like, oh, they're not going to do anything, like, but then they prove everybody wrong. Playoff this year, and also playing Texas, which is a big school, big program in the SEC. Which, I mean, we came down short, but it's just the fact that we came back and still fought, and it doesn't matter what conference you're in, we still gonna put up a fight.
And then I got two follow-up questions on that. Then you mentioned the SEC. You had a couple offers from the SEC, like Auburn and a couple others. But what about ASU and the SEC that made you say, like, I'm going to choose ASU over the SEC?
What made me choose ASU over the SEC schools that I had, I mean, it wasn't none like bad about the SEC. It was like closer to home, and like the SEC is like all over the South and stuff.
And then my second question is, I know you said the ASU, like, proving everybody wrong. You still got one more year of high school at SHC. Do you think you can prove everyone wrong this year and make a run for the Dub Cal?
Oh no, yeah, for sure. I feel like this team, Sacred team right now is the best team that we might have had in the past 10 years. No offense to the state team, no offense to the team with Jerry in them, but I just feel like this team is way more even and well rounded than other teams that we had. I mean, we have like one of the top players in each position in my eyes. I mean, no offense to the other schools, everybody else produces great talent. Reardon, Sarah, SI, but I just feel like this is our year.
And then obviously speaking about the Dub Cal, just how competitive it is, I'm sure that the worst team in the Dub Cal could win almost any other league in the country in any given year. How do you think the grind of the Dub Cal with schools like Reardon, Sarah, etc., kind of prepares you for the next level to play college football?
To be completely honest with you, I feel like the WCL in general, I feel like it's a college ready league, because majority of players that came out this league either at UW, Oregon. You had somebody at Tennessee. I mean, I just feel like this is a college ready league. Like,
Is there anybody, teammates of yours like Jerry Mixon, current Oregon linebacker, for those who don't know, or even non-teammates that you may have played 7-on-7 with on training with that have mentored you and kind of molded you into the D1 athlete you are now?
I'll say Jerry, RL, D3. As far as my teammates now, I was probably say Michael Sargent and Ty J Starks and Richie Tamalolo.
Speaking of your teammates, is there any teammate that you think isn't getting the attention that maybe you're getting for in terms of D1 interest that you think really deserves it?
Michael Sargent should have at least 15, 17 O's. I feel like Ty J should have at least 10. He should at least have 5 or 7. He doesn't have nothing right now, but it all plays out for a reason. Like, like you can't just hope you can get an offer, because you have to put in the work to get an offer. Like, it's not just gonna get handed to you.
And then speaking of the preparation to be D1, like you mentioned, obviously you're 6'5", 230. Obviously, you've probably been bigger than most of the kids almost your entire life, but just being big isn't enough to be a D1 athlete. Can you tell me a little bit about the training and what you've done to kind of mold that body into a true athlete, and any trainers or coaches that have really helped you along your journey?
Yeah, I got you. Oh, also Legend Williams, he deserves offers too. All right, but um, I had a lot of coaches that helped me out. Coach Leo, Coach Meffy from KO Bros, that like they really shaped me for the person who I am today, and I really appreciate them for everything that they done. Activated also. Coach Kennan, before he got his job at Sac State, he was helping me out, getting my coordination right and everything. Who else? No, I feel like that was really the main people that really got my skills where they're at and get my body right where I'm at right now. Because majority of people don't get gifted with the genes. You have to work into that body. I mean, good thing I was blessed with that. It's just I just got to put in the work to maintain my body.
And then what was kind of that moment where like you realized like I really want to go after this and be a D1 football player? When was that for you?
See, probably it's the middle of my junior year.
Yeah, so pretty quick before you committed. So it was just something you kind of did on the side and happened to be good at until that point where you really locked in and realized you wanted to make it your whole life. Is that what I'm hearing?
It was a long process for me because, like I didn't really have anything last year. And, I feel like that shaped who the person I am today because, like anything happen at any given moment. I'm always blessed to be in a position that I'm in. 'Cause, a lot of people like die to be in this position, which I'm always humble about it. I don't like words can't describe it.
And then obviously another feeling that words can't describe was probably getting your first offer. Can you tell me a little bit about your first offer, how you got it, who gave it to you, the phone call, your feelings after? Just take me through like what it's like to be on that receiving end and realize that hard work paid off.
So first offer was UNLV, and got a call from Coach Logo. I ain't think you. I ain't. Like your first offer is just oh, is it like real? Like, like you can't believe it. But one thing, once you get the first one, then the other ones just start rolling.
And then speaking of that kind of like off a rolling chain, like what was the moment, maybe number wise or school wise, like where you realized like, damn, like I'm like legit, like I'm a top player in the country. I can go really compete with anybody. Like, what was that point where those offers really started to boost your confidence?
I'll probably say when I go to some camps and stuff, and like I'm supposed to be beating these kids, but it's just like when I show I'm a top player, just who I go against. I'm not gonna call myself a top player if I'm going against a mediocre kid. Like to be a top player, you got to go against the top talent.
And then who are some of those top offensive linemen that you've lined up against? Some of the maybe hardest reps you've had, hardest battles you've had, whether that be camp 7-on-7 or obviously in the Dub Cal facing really good linemen such as like Oregon commits, guys at Arizona all over the place. What's kind of the main battles that really stand out to you?
The main battles that stand out to me is probably what given set they're gonna give me because linemen that's going to the Big Ten and SEC, like they're very smart. They know what you want to do. They study you. Us as DNs, we study them too. It's just more so because 5-on-5, it's off the tackle first step. It's not real football, but if we're talking about in game, it's just getting the feel of like what do you think that tackle's going to do. But it's a lot of good talent in the Bay Area and also California for that tackle position.
And then obviously you need to change how you rush any tackle based on their build, their skill set. But if you could have it your way, what's your favorite way to get into the backfield? Like, what's your ideal play to make if you could choose?
I'll probably say ghost rush or power.
And then do you like tackles for loss more, sacks more, hawking down a receiver more? Like, what's your favorite play to make?
Probably say a tackle for loss. I say a tackle for loss probably.
And then I just got two more questions for you over here. One spinning back to the recruiting. I mean, obviously, every school is going to recruit themselves a little bit differently. Obviously, the SEC schools have a lot more money to throw out than even the UNLVs and like the Sac states, which I'm sure you mentioned Coach Marion has a connection with you. How do you balance that, like the different recruiting pitches, and what schools kind of change the recruiting pitch? What is each school's pitch to you?
So me personally, like majority of kids like they look for NIL, like all that because you like as you mentioned, like SEC has more money than like a UNLV or Sac State. The difference is just like one school just has more money than another, and then the kid thinks he wants to go to this school just because he gets more money. And although like you don't get guaranteed playing time, like I'd rather go to a school. The money is just like that's just a side, like just like the second thing. It's like I'd rather play and get an opportunity than just get the money and not play, even though the money will benefit you outside. Like we're trying to look for longer, like longevity stuff, like like more like bigger money. Like the money in college is just like you're gonna go through it like that.
And then my final question for you is going to be towards the ASU fans. Like, if you could describe it up in the next minute or so, what would you want ASU fans to know about you? What do you want the coaching staff to know about you? And what do you think you bring to the ASU defensive line next year?
What I think I bring to the ASU defensive line next year, I feel like a lot of mess talking. My pass rush is very good. I'm a funny guy sometimes, but just not all the time. But just like to getting to know everybody and everything. But I'm a boring person, so like I don't really have none fun stuff I do. Probably play NCAA.
Are you excited to play as yourself in a year or so?
Yeah, I might be like a 60 overall, but I'm not gonna put myself on the field though.
All right. Appreciate you coming on. Anything else you want to add about your past, your recruiting, your position, like anything else? Floor is yours, Mickey.
Um, no, it's not really nothing else I really want to talk about. I mean, just like look out for SHC this season. I mean, I feel like we're gonna prove majority of people wrong this year. I feel like just the team that could win WCL.
All right. Look out for SHC, look out for ASU, and look out for Mickey Williams. Another interview. We'll be coming out with a lot more content as the off season comes to its end. Thank you guys for listening to another episode, and thank you, Mickey, for coming on.
Thank you.